Well, I'm an Oldenburg Franciscan from Oldenburg, Indiana, and one of the reasons why diabetes is important to me is I'm very interested in health. I ran health clinics in Mexico for 5 years, and I've been a teacher forever, and I think a lot of what needs to be done is better education, and as a society as a whole, we need to be more health conscious.
And so what is your role here in Wolfe County?
I'm a parish pastoral associate. Sister Amy and I are co-associates at Good Shepherd Catholic Church. And we have a food pantry. We have a thrift store. We have gardens, and we are on the board of Habitat, and so we help with loans to people, and we have a cancer support luncheon and a women's group, and furniture for when people have burnouts, and we just are very busy.
So you really are there as sort of a human
outreach.
resource.
Yeah, huge outreach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We have about 32 families in our parish.
Uh-huh.
So our main ministry is outreach.
Very interesting.
We love it.
I bet you do.
Yeah. Thank you.
And how was it you happened to come here?
Amy had been here. She was in Beattyville for a number of years and left to be on our leadership team back at Oldenburg.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got done with her term of office, she was just praying that there would be something open in the mountains, and there was here. So she came here, and I at the time was working on our community farm. We have a 300-acre organic farm. And so after...
And where's that, here?
In Oldenburg.
Where's that?
Indiana, southeastern Indiana. It's a lot like this without the mountains. A lot of rolling hills.
Right.
And so when I was finished with that, I spent a number of weeks visiting different places, different missions that I was looking at, and this was one of them. So I was here for 2 weeks, and both she and I felt like it was a good fit. And so that was all part of my discernment about future. And so I moved in that July.
Excellent. So how long have you been here now?
This is my 5th year.
Oh, so it must be pretty good, working out.
Yeah, so far. So far it still feels like a good fit.
Okay, so when you hear the word diabetes, what comes to mind?
Awful disease. A disease that can be hereditary, but that can be largely controlled by healthy eating, exercise, but it's not easy, and a lot of education. The other thing that comes to mind is medicine. Pharmaceutical companies have a fix also. The unfortunate thing that I've experienced is I see people continuing to eat unhealthy because they can give themselves a shot to make up for non-exercise and drinking pop, but you know, all the, and so disease, lack of health.
And do you have any personal experience with diabetes?
In Mexico, I wasn't as fluent as I would have liked to have been. I was there for 5 years, so I got by pretty well in the medical realm. So we put together a diabetes workshop that we did in each of the parishes, and they're a huge disease. Largely all pop. Most people don't drink water, and the pop is higher. I don't know whether you know that in I thought Coke or Pepsi, there's one patent, one recipe, and it's all the same, but that's not the case. In some countries, it's even sweeter than what we have here, which is sweet enough. But it's a lot higher in sugar there. And Now most people have access to potable water, but there's still, pop is so habit forming.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main culprit, but there are others.
Now, what about here?
Same. I know some people that have never had water to drink. This one man that I know is 68, and he's never had water, and he doesn't believe that the water is safe. He grew up drinking pop. What's interesting is he'll drink sweet tea, which is made from the same water that he won't drink, but it's sweet tea. And so it's just, again, what we're taught. I know children that are given pop in their bottles, and in the pantries I have fruit pies and things, but people won't choose them because they're not sweet enough.
Really?
So it's a lot habit and what you're used to.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the food pantry.
It's an emergency food pantry, and we stock it ourselves through donations. And 2 of the churches in the area have a Sunday a month that they donate, the Campton Baptist and the Methodist. Other than that, it's our parish. Some of the members donate, but we've built up quite a wonderful group of benefactors that donate. Right now, I'm really running low on peanut butter, and really running low on tuna. So we try to supply basics, something for breakfast, which is usually cereals, but we also have the Jiffy corn muffin mix, flour, those kind of things, syrup, depending on what's. Usually when I'm buying, I usually buy oatmeal, which I think is healthier, or the corn flakes, which doesn't have a huge amount of added. Because most of the cereals are just awful with sugar.
A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Now, do you buy the products yourself then? So most people give you money.
Some people give money. Some people actually bring canned goods.
Okay.
So then I'm going down my shelves, and first is breakfast item. Then they can choose a couple vegetables. Of course, canned vegetables are nothing like fresh because they all have salt added, which even with diabetes or any all the preservatives. So then the next item is soups. Again, very, very high in salt. Again, not very healthy. But again, this is emergency food supply. Usually at the end of the month, I was telling Linda that at the end of the month I have about 30 families a day.
30 families a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and we're getting towards the end of the month, food stamps are out, or
do you do any effort to teach people about diets?
That's what our women's group is.
Okay, tell me about that.
So once a month, we invite local women to come. And in the beginning of our time together, I have some kind of a reflection and invite them to share about how we want our world to be. We see ourselves as co-creators or spiritual elders. So what is our vision and our dream for our families and our world? And so we do some kind of a reflection at the beginning and share. And then I introduce a hopefully healthy menu, and we prepare it together. And then after we're done preparing it and it's cooking, we have a guest speaker, and then we eat our meal together. And then usually a couple of them stay after and help with the dishes.
And Do the folks respond to this idea of learning to cook more?
I think so. I think most of them go home and try it. Some, right off the bat that their family, that they won't do it.
Yeah.
A lot of them that have been married for a lot of years, that they like the meal, but he'll never go for this, or he's meat and potatoes, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we've done things, black bean burgers, and just all kinds of things.
Have you ever tried to do it just with men?
With men, no. No. As a matter of fact, one of our parishioners has said that, why don't you have a men's group? And I think that would be something for men to do. And I think it's very needed. But it's interesting. Most of the women have never cooked with herbs and many spices except for salt and pepper. And it's a lot like when we did garlic. Show them how to crush the garlic and cook with it. And one lady called that evening and said, I'm doing the recipe tonight that we learned today, and I couldn't remember what the garlic looked like. Is that the hard thing on the bottom? Because they get to bring I buy
items to take home and try.
For them to take home, and then give them the recipe for them to do at home. And ask them if they're not going to do it to for someone else.
Yeah.
But
are there things that sounds like you're doing everything already, but are there things that you think need to be done in the community that you're not able to engage in at this time?
Well, like the women's group, it was our desire was to really reach the younger generation, and the older generation. Many of them that come all have their own gardens. At least, I think there's 2 generations that have lost. It's not been passed on, and like the ones that I just had come for the pantry, they don't grow a garden. They could do things in pots, so many things. But most of the ones that come to the women's group, we even had someone picking up the women and doing child care with the children when we first started many years ago, thinking that we'd get more of the younger women, and they just don't come. And I think our extension people find the same. They have wonderful programs over at Extension, and the ones that really need it the most, I don't think come.
So how would you, not that you have to go do this, but how do you think there might be a way to reach out and entice them?
Yeah. I think working with the young people, the kids, the children, there's so much obesity. And for one thing, some schools are doing field to garden, or garden to platter. They're really using more fresh. They're having children learn about gardening and actually doing some gardening. And that's what I did when I did environmental education. And so many of the children now don't know that a carrot comes from the ground. They see the preformed, all look alike carrot, and that's what they think it looks like. So we really have to reach our children, that when they're given choices of what to eat, they never choose something healthy, because it's not something that's really been taught them at home. And unfortunately, in education, the important things are being cut. Like at the high school, all the arts just cut. Only art left is band. And when I see some of the recipes that are handed out, they have a lot of sugar and salt in them. So we don't know how to taste something
Mhm.
without all the preservatives.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, so starting with the more that we can do with children, maybe blindfold and taste test, and,
Making it fun. I mean,
yeah,
making things fun
Again,
is
right.
really one of the
It is.
challenges.
Exactly. But those kind of things get them really engaged, and then exercising. We finally have a trail to walk, but we don't have a health facility, that people can just go and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I really miss that.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do it in my living room,
Mm-hmm.
but not always. I was more faithful when I had somewhere to go, roll out of bed, and I could drive
Just go there.
10 minutes away and go to a gym.
Yeah.
But I made a commitment to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder to do when it's in your, it's harder to make a commitment.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I'm trying this week.
What kinds of things do you think people need to know about diabetes?
Well, I think our instant fast food, instant society has hurt us so much because there's so much in the food that is not healthy. And the more that they can eat whole food, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of education, but also the easy fix. We want everything instant and easy.
Mm-hmm.
So the notion seems to be that if I give myself a shot, I don't have to worry about eating healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good notion, but that seems to be what pharmaceutical companies want us to believe, because then they're the savior, so there's some false messages, I think,
Mm-hmm.
that are promoted by corporate
Mm-hmm.
world.
Now, in this community, I know there's several areas of public housing, and which says that these must be communities of people that are having challenged lives.
Right.
Do you do anything directly with these?
Those are most of the people that we serve in
Okay.
our thrift store and pantry. Unfortunately, the stuff that I have in the pantry is not also the food that I would advocate or would choose to eat myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be a 3-day supply of emergency food.
Do you get commodities?
No, senior citizens extension get the commodities. from the
Okay,
government.
so you're sort of above and beyond that.
Right. So we try not to serve the same people. Before they were doing the commodities, we had all of those people, but
Mhm.
now they're taking care of the 60, 65 and
Mhm.
older. And
In your in the food pantry itself, do you do any? One of the things that I've seen with folks is they don't know how to use their money, or they don't know how to use their food stamps to extend.
right.
Do you do any classes or anything like that? Is that something you've ever thought about, or?
Yes, but with having 30 families or more a day, I just schedule 15-minute periods for the families, and I sign them up and give them their bag and go through each of the categories, food categories, and let them choose.
Mm-hmm.
And if I know they're diabetic, I say, oh, this is sugar-free, or this has no salt added or no sugar added. And it's interesting that inevitably they'll say, oh, that's okay, I can still eat the sugar.
Yeah.
I try to encourage them to make different choices.
Do you collect any health information on the families that come in?
No, but just talking to them.
Yeah.
I can, I have one man that comes that has had both legs amputated,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember sometimes it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Do you think that folks would be open to either having classes at that time or to?
I don't think they're real interested. It's unfortunate that even when people are losing limbs, that they still don't really change their behavior. This one man that we visited, who finally died, he had a lot of things amputated from diabetes, and he still had his pop, at least one every day, and other things. And his wife tried helping him change, but
Some people you
just won't change. So I think the young, they're our future, and we just really have to focus on young people and make it fun, like you said.
Yeah.
But definitely educate the real messages. A lot of folks don't understand how carbs turn into sugar. They don't seem to understand that. They understand sugar, and they'll look on the box for sugar, but they don't seem to understand that. And they also don't seem to understand what salt does to the body. Excess salt. And so those are all education things.
Yeah. Well, you raised some really good points. I think I've asked you all the questions I need. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm willing to help if there's something I can do. I don't really need to be on any more committees, but I am an educator, and I have some fun lessons that I put together on the environment and plants and that kind of thing. I hope someday, I think we're going to all have to have gardens and live in a more, like our ancestors did.
Yeah.
So we try to teach container planting and how much you can plant in just a square foot garden. So I'm happy to help if there's something I can do.
I appreciate that, and we may be calling on you.
Okay.
For sure.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Tell me again your name.
Sharon Denham.
Denham. Okay.
It's like jeans.
Yeah.
D-E-N-H-A-M.
O-H.
Okay. But you say it like your jeans.
Okay. Very good. Well, nice meeting you.